Alright, so this is going to be a tutorial on how to make a FiveM test server. This won't be live, so other people won't be able to join. It's just going to be you. If you want to do it for dev shit or you just want to fuck around, it's up to you. It really doesn't matter. So, first things first, you're going to open up File Explorer. Some stuff we're going to go ahead and do now is we're going to go up to View. This is something that must be enabled for this. File name extensions must be tacked on. After you've done that, we're going to navigate down to your local disk C. From here, we're going to make a folder called FX server. So FXS are all capital like this. After you've made that, go ahead and navigate into it, and then we'll go to the first link that's going to be used. So this is the FiveM documentation on how to set up a server. You can follow along with it. I'm not going to be using txadmin, which it suggests you use, because for a test server, I don't really find that necessary. It's kind of overkill. So it's going to be a lot more simple this way. So first things first, we need to go to the artifact server. Now, usually I would suggest downloading latest recommended because optional is usually beta stuff and it can mess up. However, they're the same version right now. So it really doesn't matter which one you click. At the time of this video, it doesn't matter, but in the future, this could be a higher version. Always go with latest recommended. It's less buggy. Now that we have that downloaded, we can open this up. So now you're going to navigate back to where you were before, and you're going to left click on one of any of these files in the RAR, and then you're going to click Control+A at the same time to highlight all of them. We're going to drag them over. So as you can see, all these files are now dragged in, and that's one step done. Now what we need to do next is navigate over to the CitizenFX CFX server data repository on GitHub, and this is basically the CFX server data. So this is required. And what we'll do, it says to use git clone, but we're going to download zip. It says much harder to update. Not really. So we're going to do this because it's simpler than git clone. And all you got to do is just click code on this drop down and then download zip. All right, and as you can see, that's downloaded. So let's go ahead and throw it in. So here it's literally the same process. We're just going to take this and drag it right in. Boom, now that's done. So from here, now we need to make a server.cfg inside of the CFX server data master. So I'm going to go inside here, then I'm going to make the CFG. Now we need to create a server CFG. So to do this, all you need to do is create a new text document and just name it server.cfg. It's going to ask you here if you want to change file name extension, might become unusable. That's not true. This one will be completely usable. You can see there I just deleted some of the documentation. I don't personally need it. I haven't really looked at it either, but it might be helpful to look over that if you're having trouble with FiveM servers. Documentation is your best friend. All right, so now I have copied the server CFG. This will be in the description. This is just the example one that CitizenFX provides, and you'll just paste this in. I'll have this in the description. As you can see here, it's asking for SV license key change me. So now what we need to do is navigate over to the FX Keymaster service. I'll also have this linked in the description. All of this is going to be blurred out. This part does not contain sensitive information, but I'm just blurring it out because I feel like it. So it's going to say somewhere, it's going to say welcome your account name. If you don't have an account, you do need to create one. And it's going to say you currently have 0 keys if you've never done this before, of which 0 active. You can still register 3 out of 3 keys. That is if you've never done this. If you've done this, you might have keys active. Your situation could be different. Now, you're going to click on the blue button that says register. Now from here, it's going to be display name, pick whatever you want. Now it's going to say initial server IP without port. So what this means is you need to find your external IP. To do this, you can open up Google and type, what is my IP? So I've done this. This is going to be blurred out just because I don't want people DOSing me. Don't give out your IP unless you're, server hosting something like that, but shouldn't be doing it either way. So now, most likely it will have an IPv4 here. If it has an IPv6, that won't work. So you need to find an IPv4. There are some good sites for that. What is my IP address? See your public IP address, IPv4 and IPv6. They'll be all over the place when you look up what is my IP. If you don't know the difference between the two, look it up and it'll show you the difference between the two. Now I'm going to copy that IP that it says what is my IP. I'm going to paste it into the initial server IP address. Server type is going to be home hosted for me. Which server provider are you using? Home for me. And then after you do the CAPTCHA, you'll have to click generate and your key will be generated. Now, it's a very important step. Make sure you copy the key entirely. Don't miss a single one or your key will not work. So hover over it and copy the whole thing, and then you can copy it and we'll paste it into the CFG. So as you can see here, I pasted it into the CFG. And yeah, that's basically it for the server. So now we can get started and I'll see you in game. So I did forget to mention something, which is the starter.bat. Don't know how I forgot to mention that, but I did. So we're going to create a new file on our desktop called server.bat. Not server.bat, starter.bat, excuse me. Then you're going to right click and press edit. Now you're going to paste what I'll have in the description. I'll have all of it labeled so you know what to do. So now that I have this pasted in, you can hit Control S to save it, or you can go up to File and save. So mine's saved. We can now exit this out. Now that this is done, you're going to want to just put it in FX server. You don't want to put it in CFX data master. You want to put it in FX server. Now that we've made this starter.bat, you're now going to want to put it in here. So you can just drag it in. I already have it in though. So from here, what I like to do, since this is in your C drive, you don't want to be navigating here every time you start the server. So what you can do is you can create a shortcut to here and put that on your desktop. So this is how you do that. So I've created it and I had to right click over here and refresh it. Some computers will do that, some won't. So you just right click and then refresh will pop up. Now that we have this, make sure you don't drag this one out. You want to make sure you drag the shortcut. And now that we have starter.bat shortcut, we're now ready to go into the server and check it out. So if we double click this, our server will start. And it's this first time setup, it won't do this every time. It's just getting all the files it needs in order to run. And beware, based on the speed of your computer and internet, this can take a decent amount of time. So yeah, keep that in mind. So once it stopped moving, what I like to go ahead and do is just close it and then restart it again. I always like doing that when I'm first making servers, so that's what I'll do now. And as you can see there, server license key authentication succeeded, welcome. And that's about it. So now we'll go into the server and I'll show you guys how to connect to it as well. All right, so now we're in FiveM, and something I love that they actually did with the recent update to the FiveM UI is you don't have to go in settings and enable the localhost anymore. If FiveM detects that there's a localhost server running, what it will go ahead and do is pop up this button. So all you have to do, you got to make sure your test server's on and click that button and you'll connect. Now this is a bone stock test server, so you're gonna have no loading screen. This is going to be the loading screen. So yeah, that's most of it done. That's actually all of it done. So yeah, that's it. If you guys want to click off now, you're good. I'll probably be doing tutorials on how to install vMenu and other things soon. But yeah, that's about it. And as you guys can see, we're in the server. And I just died. But yeah, as you can see, we're in the server. Everything's working. It doesn't come with vMenu, so if you want to add vMenu, that's something you're gonna have to do. Don't have a video on that yet, but yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching. If you have questions, please comment them below and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Other than that, have a good day.